players play, the officials officiate, and the coaches coach. Please rise as we play our national anthem.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the gymnasium here, Bob Giordano Court, the Beaver River Central School for high school basketball. Interclass matchup between the Beavers and the visiting Copenhagen Golden Knights. My name's Connor Lalone. Joining me for commentary is Ron Rockwood, Nate Madison to our left on the camera, and Zach Zabriskie running the controls. Should be a good matchup.
Yeah, excited to see. We've seen Copenhagen once this year. It's my first time getting able to see the hometown Beavers. Obviously, I work here at Beaver River. I will do my best to be unbiased. Interested to see how they match up here with Copenhagen.
Well, Beaver River immediately gets the ball off the tip. And the layup, no good.
Schneider got the steal right back.
Taken away. Cade Schneider. And Carroll saves it, gets it to Sullivan. And a little bit of hectic basketball as we get started.
Fast-paced, I like it.
Schneider. And now Miller spinning in. Miller with the right hand, threw some contact, didn't get it to fall. Good defense that time by the Beavers. They'll take the ball away. And it's Cade Schneider the other way with it. Bush, dish back up top for Dickup. And then the three-pointer from the right side, no good. Out of the hands of Schneider again, I think.
Yeah, Knight's the rebounder, and he was outside taking the three. So, honestly, you got a bunch of guys that are all about the same size, so they can interchange at the different positions. But Matt Knight usually hangs out inside under the basket. That's him going for the block.
Right-handed layup, no good from Sullivan. Offensive rebound, Carroll. His shot, no good, and then a fight for it. Going to be taken away by the Beavers. Rebound for Matt Knight. Right on cue, Ron. Talking about Knight being their main board getter. Good harassing D for Miller. Sheets picks up Schneider at the top of the arc. And now Cade Schneider's going to get it back on the tail of the Beaver there right at half court. Lost the handle for a second, but able to reel it back in. Dribbling in, scored Jordal, the long three off of Sam Carroll in the head, and then falls kindly to Logan Jordal. Going the other way, blocked from behind. Foul whistled. It's a block underneath.
Guessing they got Rice. I don't think they got Schneider from behind. We'll see.
I think you're right. It is against Rice underneath, and not the block from behind, which was clean. So a couple of shots coming up for Logan Jordan. Chance to break the deadlock. 0-0. 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go. And now 1-0.
All the cuts and slashes we've had to the basket, and a free throw breaks the scoring cap.
Chance to make it a 2-point lead. And he does. A couple of good free throws from Jordan. 2-0 lead early for the Knights. Schneider picked up by Logan Jordan. Bounce pass to the right side. Britt Dickup. Back to Schneider in the corner. He's going to take a three.
There's one.
Knocks it down.
He's not shy. He's going to shoot it tonight.
I think that's his second or third three attempted already. Gets one to fall and gives his team the lead. 3-2. Sullivan to Carroll. Outside. Sam Carroll. Not sure you want to give him that much space outside. He can't shoot it, but going to hit.
They found him inside.
Down low into the paint.
When we had them against Sackets earlier, he didn't spend a lot of time under the basket. I feel like that's probably going to change tonight. I think they have to put that to use. Huge size advantage. He's got close to a foot on everybody else on the court.
We mentioned pretty much everybody for Beaver River about the same height. Driving in that time was Rice. Couldn't get it to go, and eventually it's taken away by Aiden Sheets. Miller. Kicks to Sullivan up top. Looked like he might have taken about half a step too many. Miller, long three, no good. Rebounded by Beaver River again, and it was Britt Dickup who took that one away. Here's Carter Rice on the ball.
That was interesting with Miller on his, just before he took that shot, he looked down almost to see, how far out am I? All right, I'm in range, and he took it. Got a nice stroke, just didn't have enough on that one.
Miller, we didn't see against Sackets.
Nope.
Fight for the loose ball, and Jordan's going to come up with it.
You call a jump.
I think you're right. Jump ball. And Copenhagen will have it on the far side of the gymnasium. Over by the JV officiating crew. Wiley and Beatty over there. Bounce pass inside for Jordan from Carroll. Now Sheets, mid-range jumper from the free throw line. No good. Rebounded.
Nice board, Bush.
Bush. And at least so far, Copenhagen electing to not use full court press. So I'm kind of go off and on a little bit with it against Sackets. Hasn't been the choice so far, but they are playing hard in the half court. Another three. Too strong out of the hands of Bush. And Landon Sullivan will carry for Copenhagen. 4-3. Sullivan right to the paint with the right hand. Doesn't get it to fall. And then foul whistled underneath. And getting ready to check in for Beaver River is Matt Moore. The only player who didn't have a number on our roster, number 1. Ron marking that down for me as he was getting ready to come in to the game. Foul is going to go, I think that's against Jordan, as Schneider was driving hard into the paint.
Beaver, if they take the time to pass it on, they got a lot of shooters, a lot of guys willing to shoot and have the ability to shoot. Seen mostly out of Schneider so far. Hopefully they start distributing a little bit. They got a lot of weapons.
It's actually the second foul against Sheets, so he'll check out of the game. Another three, this time no good. That was Schneider again, but an offensive rebound from the top of the arc.
There's another shooter.
Rattles in, Carter Rice. 6-4 now. Teams exchanging the lead early. Miller had it poked free. Sullivan comes up with it, gets a good screen. Elects not to really use it on this near side.
Good perimeter defense here. They've tried to get into the lane, only been able to get through once or twice.
Another good screen and the roll off of it. No good, but Carroll gets his own miss and then follows it up. And able to get into the paint that time on the pick and roll. And here, yep, exactly, some press.
You called it.
Copenhagen. That one poked out of bounds. The Beavers will keep the ball.
Ethan Mosier got checked into the game, keeping people fresh. A lot of motion out here. If I remember right, I don't feel like Copenhagen subbed a ton when we saw them before. Looks like Beaver River is going to get a fresh rotation of bodies out there. We'll see if that pays off late in the game.
Definitely something to watch out for. 8-6 the score as Schneider got to the basket that time. Carroll underneath. Had it
Nice
poke free.
hands.
Schneider comes up with it and is going to slow things down. He's hassled, harried by Logan Jordal, picks up the foul. Good active hands defensively for Beaver River so far. Poke free, a lot of passes, and interrupt the ball movement for Copenhagen. 2-point lead for him with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go in quarter number 1.
Ooh.
Travel on the far side. Matt Moore whistled for the extra step. Sullivan carries over half court. Dishes to the near side. And now back to Sullivan looking underneath for Carroll. Couldn't find him. Ball nearly came loose as Rice carried it over half court. He got it to Schneider, who took a dribble and stepped into the three. No good that time, but an offensive rebound for Knight. Dished into the corner. Three there for Moore. Poked free again and off the foot and out of bounds. Matt Knight had a chance for another offensive rebound there on the same possession.
We've said it before, long shots lead to long rebounds. They had a few chances there. They're pretty content to be shooting threes. I think they've had an attempt at a three just about every time down the court. Copenhagen looking more to get the ball inside.
Jordal. Sullivan gets the screen from Carroll. Has Carroll at the top of the arc. He's going to take the three, and it's good. Sam Carroll knocks down a three and gives Copenhagen the lead back. 9-8 with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Back and forth basketball. Schneider thought about it. Dish down low instead. And that one taken
nice
away.
Hands.
Mosier tried to find teammate in the corner and had it poked free. Sullivan driving in. Goes up with the right hand from the left side. Doesn't get it to fall. Carroll with the offensive rebound and one.
Wow. Nice play inside. He was surrounded. 3 guys around him. Just wasn't going to be denied.
On the height advantage. Just such a crucial factor like that on a play down low.
I feel like he's already spent more time inside than he did the last game we had.
No, you're exactly right. We didn't see a lot of Carroll down low when we watched them play against Sackets. That was our first game of the season down in Copenhagen. We went and watched the Knights do battle with the Patriots. One of only 2 losses on the year for Copenhagen. Their other was at Morristown, 57-54, so a close game there. A couple of days before Christmas. Beaver River 3-6 on the year.
Copenhagen, a solid team for sure. They got a little of everything. Obviously, they've got height. They've got outside shooting. We didn't even see Caden Miller before. He looks really athletic. Hasn't really gotten the scoring column yet, but they got good defense. They got ball handlers. They've got a little bit of everything.
Little delay before the and one free throw for Carroll. It's no good and rebounded by Beaver River. They'll take it the other way. 11-8, minute to go in the first quarter. Schneider. This is off to Moore. Matt Moore. Harassed by Gavin Tufo. Mid-range jumper.
Nice
Rattles
shot.
in. Carter Rice. A pretty shot. Came to a stop off the dribble and just let one fly from
10, 12 feet.
Exactly. Sullivan, right hand, no good. Fight for it, rebounded by Carter Rice. Might have gotten a tip from one of his teammates. Ball came right down into his lap. Good feed underneath to find Dick up and then kick back out for Cade Schneider. Shot clock off. Down to 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. A 1-point game, 11-10. Schneider off the screen, driving into the right, and gets it in over Sam Carroll. Couple of seconds left for Miller to try to get something off. That wasn't in time. And it's well short anyway, so right at the end of the first quarter, Beaver River will take the lead. The teams
Good quarter of basketball there.
They exchanged the lead 3 or 4 times, at least in that first quarter of what was...
To this point, they look pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, some very good basketball. Zach Zabrisky's keeping
6
track of the
lead
lead changes. He's got 6 of them.
That's pretty much every score back and forth. They've each got 5 or 6 buckets.
That sounds about right to me. Carter Rice with 5 points. Schneider with 7. Sam Carroll with 9 already. To go along with 5 rebounds at the end of the first 8 minutes of play. High school basketball presented by the Bob Johnson Auto Group and Trek Subs. Thank you to them for sponsoring our live streams on the NBC Watertown YouTube channel. Getting ready to start the second quarter. My name's Connor Lalone, joined by Ron Rockwood on commentary. Nate Madison running the camera for us tonight. And Zachary Zabrisky on the controls, as always. 12-11 in favor of the hosts as we start the second quarter. Schneider, the far side for Bush. Now back up top, Bolivar. Dished off and driving in. Foul on the floor.
Did you say Carroll had 9 in the first quarter? 9
yes,
of their 11.
9 points for St. Carroll.
As a coach, kind of hard to draw up a way to shut him down. It's not like he stays in one place. You put your big man on him, he goes out around the 3-point line.
And knocks down shots from beyond the arc, too, on occasion. Did one in the first quarter.
I mean, when he gets inside, even though he's scored several times down there, they're putting 2 or 3 bodies around him. But he's just, that size advantage is so huge. Oh, good shot from Bolivar.
Mid-range step-in jumper. Looked like it might have been going down for a second, but it came back out. Sullivan the other way. Good screen. Couple of screens. First one from Carroll and then Smith. Carroll
another
beyond the arc again.
Boy, he is feeling it. He's got a dozen. Beaver River's got a dozen.
Well, like you said, it's just impossible to guard.
Not if he's going to hit from out there and he's got a foot advantage underneath. I don't know how you stop him.
Schneider trying to answer back, and he does. Cade Schneider stepped into that one and took the lead right back, 15-14. Sullivan, screen from Miller, hard screen. Smith driving in, getting to the basket, throwing it up with the right hand, gets it in through some contact. Nothing illegal, just really good defense, but Smith able to get it up over Josh Bush anyway. Schneider. Lead went back the other way again. It's 16-15. Schneider, good cut to the basket. Mid-range shot fading away. Can't get it to fall. Smith with a rebound, and he'll dish off to Landon Sullivan. Sullivan has Miller right behind him. Now finds him on the far side, and they'll just play catch. Sullivan calling the play. Wants the screen from Carroll. Here it is. Dished out Miller. Thought about the 3 whistle. He traveled. That hesitation just cost Caden Miller. Wasn't quite committed to the shot or to driving in. Kind of slid that first step before putting the ball to the court. 15-16. Copenhagen leading. Under 6 minutes to go. Blocking foul whistled before the shot. That'll go against Smith, and I believe that's his second.
Good call. That is too. That slashing of Beaver River, they haven't gotten a lot of shots at the rim, but they're starting to pile up the fouls on Copenhagen.
We've had plenty of looks from beyond the arc just now, starting to really try to take it inside.
Nice pass.
Right on cue.
Nice pass. That's a great look from Bush.
Couple of really good feeds. First the inbound to Bush, and then Bush to find Schneider for 2 more. Miller. Jordahl. Dishes out to Sullivan up top. High speed.
Sullivan's taking maybe one shot. He took a bunch of shots first game we had. I feel like he's itching to get on track here.
Here it is, right on cue. Sullivan got to the basket, didn't get it to fall. That one's going to go out of bounds. And it was deflected out after Carroll came up with an offensive rebound.
Carroll getting his points, but they are making him work. If it's not immediately up, he's got 2 guys on it. Wow.
Miller with a great fake. Schneider went right over top of him.
Over the top of him.
But didn't make any contact either. That was what was impressive about it. Schneider goes into the paint, had it poked free, and it comes out to Gavin Tufo, and then a lot of contact.
Oh, they got him for a foul.
I wasn't sure if they were going to call a jump or a foul.
I was thinking jump, yep.
Bush was reaching in. That'll be his second. No, his first. It is his first. The 20 on the scoreboard was left over from
the previous
Smith
foul,
picking up his second. Miller. Carroll down low. Doubled, and then he dishes back out to Miller. Carroll in the corner, driving into the paint. And he's going to draw a foul. Had to wait and see if they were going to get Knight with a foul or Carroll with a travel. Wasn't sure which.
It's 2 on Knight early. Probably going to have to rotate him out of there. We'll see if they sub in and who they're going to put in his place down underneath.
He stays in for the time being. Sullivan gets the screen from Carroll. The mid-range just kind of heaved it up there with the right hand. Didn't get it to fall. And then the ball momentarily was just kind of sitting there waiting for somebody to take it. Dickup ended up with it. He's got the basketball on the far side now. And then foul, that's going to go against Jordal. He's just got too much of Cade Schneider. Second foul against Logan Jordal. Both teams quickly racking up personal fouls.
I think that's 3 guys for Copenhagen with 2 fouls.
Three-pointer again on the far side. Too strong off the back iron, but an offensive rebound. Beaver River. And then taken away. Knight had it underneath and was stripped from behind. Miller going to take the 3. In and out. Rebounded by Cade Schneider. Here he comes the other way. Halfway through quarter number 2. 18-17. Copenhagen leading over the Beavers here in Beaver River. Schneider, guarded by Miller. Gets the screen from Knight. Now dished off. Bush driving to the basket. Bush dishing off. Rice. Back to Knight underneath over Carroll. Doesn't get it to fall, and Sam Carroll comes away with the rebound. Sullivan trying to push the tempo the other way. Driving right to the basket. Sullivan,
nice
shot
hands.
blocked.
Nice defense from Rice. Yeah, here comes Knight. They bring in Mosier. Got to prevent that 3rd foul. They need him inside.
Knight's been doing most of the board work for Beaver River, as you would have predicted and did predict at the beginning of the game. Miller up top against Schneider. Miller wants the screen.
He
Mid-range
wants to
jumper.
score. He's, I think, getting frustrated that his shots haven't fallen. They're playing pretty good defense on him, and he's had a couple openings and just hasn't been able to knock one down yet.
Bush.
There's a triple.
In and out. And taken away by Logan Jordal. Neither team able to score here in the last, really, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's been 18-17 for quite a while.
Sullivan picked up his dribble. Has Carroll underneath. And good defense to deny
rebound.
that was Josh Bush. 18-17, still the score. Under 3 minutes to go. Mosier, dish to Schneider. Schneider lost the handle. Comes up with it. Schneider driving in. And taken away by Carroll. Sullivan the other way. Has Miller wide open for 3. In and out.
Again, just not falling down. Beautiful shots.
Cade Schneider with another rebound. We're going to have a timeout called by Beaver River. Both teams playing some really good defense and preventing the other team
working hard on the boards
scoring
too.
very hard, for sure. Both teams really aggressive on the glass. And so
more of a system offense from Copenhagen. You can see they're running set plays where Beaver River's almost like a set of one-on-ones, and occasionally they'll dish it, but the first person that gets an open three, it's going in the air. And they just haven't shot it very well so far. I think Schneider's got a couple threes and maybe Rice with a couple of shots.
Timeout here with 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the first half. 18-17 is the score on high school basketball, presented by the Bob Johnson Auto Group. You can view their entire inventory at bobjohnsonautogroup.com. Give them a call also at 315-965-8072. Drex Subs is another sponsor. Drex pretty much guaranteed to be a great meal.
I think Beaver River's got 6 guys on the court. They better get somebody out.
They did that earlier on an inbound play, too. I had to double check and recount several times. We had 5 guys on the court plus the inbounder. Both times they realized it before actually putting the ball in play. Got the right number of guys out there. Knight from 3.
Triple.
Oh, good. Rebounded by Carroll.
Oh, he just picked up his third. As soon as he went in, I said, nah, I was thinking that's not the best idea.
Just too aggressive that time. Was never really going to have a chance against Sam Carroll, who had inside position plus 5 or 6 inches on Knight. That's a big foul for Knight to pick up.
He'll be coming out for the half now.
Sullivan gets the screen, rolling off at Sam Carroll, fakes the shot, in and out, gets his own rebound, and then draws the foul on the floor. That one is going to go to Mosier, I believe.
Yep, I think they got Mosier.
Well, Knight was involved in there, too. That would have been really disastrous for him to pick up his 4th, but
it was on Mosier.
It was Mosier, and I think that's the correct call. Sullivan into the corner for Tufo. Now back up top, Miller. Sullivan on the near side, right in front of us. Gets the screen. Now dishes off. Jordan. Screen from Carroll. Down low. Sam Carroll in the paint. Fakes the shot. Throws it up and in.
Just laid it on the rim.
First basket in the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's been a while. 20-17.
I think this match is their biggest lead. I think they led 11-8. And the backup 3 again. It's been a tight game. Obviously, with all those score changes, Zach's counting up for us.
Schneider steps into another 3 and ties the game at 20. Well, it's been pretty much Cade Schneider versus Sam Carroll tonight. 20-20 with a minute to go in the first half. Sullivan barking out the orders. Sam Carroll picked up by Bush on the near side. Swung all the way out to Sullivan. He dishes off Miller.
So Bush is making Carroll work. He's just following him around the court. He's stuck to him.
Miller just buried that one from about 4 or 5 feet beyond the arc.
Yeah, he finally got one to go. You could feel it coming.
Been just off. And his last couple of shots, that one finally gets him on the score sheet. 23-20. Another exchange of the lead.
That's a long triple. Bang.
Well, how about that? A couple of guys just...
That was a pretty deep shot.
Exchanging threes from way beyond the arc. And it's all tied up at 23. Sullivan. Time running out. Miller driving in.
Oh, that's a walk. Oh, they got the foul.
Foul before.
They get Mosier.
0.4 of a second. I believe that was a 4. It is the second against Ethan Mosier.
Oh, they called it a shooting foul. Thought they'd called it on the floor. I bet 4 or 5 of his shots, and they've done that same thing. They're half below the rim and somehow find their way back out. He could easily have 10 or 12 points. He's sitting on 3, I believe.
Second from the line. Miller rattles in. And Beaver River's going to take a timeout.
And try to set something
4
up with
tenths of a
point
second.
four.
Zach gave me a nudge, Ron, and said that was the 5th foul against Beaver River, so Miller would have gone to the line
okay.
either way.
Okay. All right. I thought they called it on the floor. Well, good thing for Beaver River here, setting up this play. They've got 2 different quarterbacks in the football team, so they ought to be able to take a nice long pass. We'll see if somebody can tip one in with point four. I don't even think you have time for a catch and shoot. Timeout. Do they get it past half court? Or at half court?
It doesn't
After a made
look
basket?
like it right now, but
No, he is waiting on the baseline. I was thinking after a made basket, you call timeout, you got it up at half court.
we'll see. A couple of quarterbacks on the team, and it looks like they're going to go to Josh Bush.
They're going to go to
inbound,
one of the
so
receivers to throw it in.
Bush gets it in. They do get one off somehow, and it gets stuck in the
And
net.
it's up in the
there.
net. Going to need another game ball. Now, maybe the AD, Kogut, can get that down at halftime. It
See,
takes about 5 minutes to lower that net and put it back up, but we got 10, so we still have plenty of time.
Mike had a big smile on his face as he walked out of the gym. 24-23. Back and forth first half. Zach's got 10 lead changes
Wow.
in this first half. And Beaver River trailing by just a point at home.
Good action. They really look, they really run 2 completely different offenses. At the end of the day, they're pretty evenly matched. The size difference, and I feel like Beaver River's got a couple more shooters. I'm going to be interested to watch these guys try to get this ball down. Coach Buddington and athletic director Mike Kogut to figure out how to get that game ball down.
Well, they're definitely taking a look, trying to figure out what they can do. Cade Schneider has got 16 points at the half. Sam Carroll with 14 on the other side for Copenhagen. Carroll 1 rebound away from the double-double already. And it really has just been those 2 guys matching back and forth. Caden Miller does have 6 points now after he made a 3 there late at the end of the first half. But for the most part, it's just been Schneider and Carroll pretty much every time down the court exchanging the lead.
Doing the bulk of the lifting, bulk of the heavy lifting.
A 1-point game at halftime. We're going to take a break on high school basketball presented by the Bob Johnson Auto Group, as well as Drex Subs and the Church Street Diner, as we watch the show, see if they can get the basketball down.
Assuming we get a game ball, we should have basketball action about 8.5 minutes.
Out of the netting. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back inside the gymnasium here at Beaver River, where the Beavers and the visiting Copenhagen Knights exchanged the lead 10 times in that first half. Right now it's 24-23 in favor of the visiting Knights on high school basketball. Brought to you by the NBC Watertown Stream Team, presented by the Bob Johnson Auto Group, Direct Subs, and the Church Street Diner. My name's Connor Lalone. Ron Rockwood joining me for commentary here in Beaver River tonight.
For those that are curious, the ball is still up in the netting. They had to get a second game ball.
Right at the end of the
nice
first half.
Nice look to Rice. Right by the guard up front. Put it, and there's another lead change.
The 11th lead change of the half. We were saying right at the end of the first half, the ball launched up into the, I believe it's a batting cage, really, is what the netting is up there.
It is, yep.
And it's still up there. Sullivan with the three.
Bang.
Well, I think that's the first points of the game maybe for Sullivan.
He drove once early. I'm not sure if he got the layup or if it came off the rim, but he has not getting many shots off. Oh, Bush with a great move. I'm not sure how he got that up.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Josh Bush drove right to the basket and threw Carroll, really. Got it to go in off the glass with the right hand. Miller up top. In the sheets down low. We didn't see much of him after he picked up 2 early fouls.
He's not going to move Bush under there. I think he thought he could back him down. He's not going to move Josh up. Nice shot.
He didn't. And they just need a towel on the court. So Sheets is going to pick up the assist out of the post. He dished off to Sam Carroll, who then made the mid-range jumper. Short delay here as we get a towel out. There's a bit of a damp spot on the court over on the far side. See the referee taking a look.
Oh, what was it, gum?
Might have been a piece of gum.
Coach Lehman was sick of waiting for the mop to come out. He just went out and grabbed it.
Went over and snatched it. So delay over. 29-27. Copenhagen leading by 2 rather. Easy for me to do math. Good
nice
feed.
Look inside. Oh, wow.
What
nice
a finish.
athletic finish at the rim.
Cade Schneider
switched hands and was directly under the basket. Still got it in.
So much spin on the ball, too, as it went in and off the glass. Schneider's done almost all of the scoring for Beaver River tonight.
I think they bumped knees on the way by. I think that's why Schneider's a little limp there. I don't think it was an ankle. I think they just bumped knees.
Sullivan trying to get the ball inbounds. It's deflected.
Nice hands. Oh, right to Carroll.
Right to Sam Carroll. Sullivan up to Jordal up top. Sheets posting up. Instead,
Miller's
he's going to set the
open.
screen. Miller with the three. No good. Carroll with the offensive rebound. Throws it in.
A left-handed shot. Almost literally threw it in.
Much more like a general heave than a shot, but it went in anyway.
They all count the same. Long triple for Rice.
No good. Fight for it underneath. Poked away by Knight, and it came out to Schneider. Team rebound. I don't know who you want to give the rebound to on that one, Zach, but a couple of guys involved.
Nice
Schneider,
dish.
what a feed.
Nice
Into
dish.
the paint for Carter Rice, who lays it in for 2 points. We talked at halftime. Schneider has been looking for his own shot a lot in the first half, and why not? He scored the ball really well, but a great feed that time. They're going to find his teammate.
They're going to be doing everything they can to get the ball out of his hands. If he can find some teammates. Oh, they call offensive?
They did. Going to be the 3rd foul against Aiden Sheets. And we'll see how long he stays in the game. Came out pretty quickly after picking up 2 fouls in that first half and then sat the rest of the first half. Picks up his 3rd on the offensive as he was trying to back down Knight. He just couldn't. Miller. Now Schneider right in this near corner, driving to the basket. Good feed. And
There's
good
the
ball
open
move
look
to
to
find the
Dickup.
open man. Dickup with a 3, couldn't get it to fall in.
They made the extra pass, one of the first times today. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Miller, Sullivan up top, gets the screen from Miller. And Sullivan with a right hand from the left side somehow gets that one to go in off the glass.
Guys are getting creative on both ends of the court here.
A little unorthodox. Creative's a good word for it. Schneider, too strong. Going to go out of bounds.
Ooh.
I thought it looked like
That looked like it
Cade
went off
Miller
of
might have
two
got the
green
last.
hands, but
might have got the last touch, but they're going to say it came off of Britt Dickup, and he's going to check out. Replaced by Matt Moore.
so far Knight's been able to avoid that fourth foul.
Underneath against Carroll right now. Sullivan lost the handle. Jordahl into the post for Carroll. Carroll spinning using the left hand.
Nice touch. Knight can't body him up like he wants to. Biggest lead of the game. 4
4
Been a
points.
Great matchup here.
Into the post. Bush into
Moore
the
with
corner.
a triple. Bang.
Matt Moore with a 3. Back to a 1-point game. 35-34. Miller. Sullivan. Driving in. Sullivan.
Oh,
shot
nice
block.
block
Gets his
by
own
Rice.
rebound.
I don't think they'll be blocking this one. Oh, maybe. Knight gave it a good run.
Good effort defensively from Matthew Knight. Sam Carroll's going to pick up 2 more points as he gets to the basket with a relatively clean look. 37-34. 3 minutes to go now in quarter number 3. Cade Schneider up top, guarded by Logan Jordahl. Jordahl plays tight defense. In the post, Knight against Sheets. Knight got
Nice
to the
move
basket.
inside, Matt.
I think he was a little surprised once he got around Sheets.
Not to find Carroll waiting for him.
How open he was. Carroll wasn't there with the help defense. Matthew Knight makes it a 1-point game. Sullivan. Now Caden Miller. Picked up by Cade Schneider. Miller from way beyond the arc. And it's good.
He seems to have better luck the further out he goes.
He's had a couple of threes now, and both of them from well beyond the arc. Like you said, shooting the ball better when he's deeper for some reason. Moore.
I think he
Eventually.
thought Knight was going to go out top, and he stopped.
It worked its way out to Rice. I think you're exactly right. Schneider calling for screens. Gets a couple. Neither of them really on a man. Fights for it. Jordahl taken away by Moore. Good handle
look
and spin.
inside.
That's Schneider. Schneider's going to drive inside. Up over Carroll and gets it to fall. 38-40.
A lot of scoring here in this third quarter.
There wasn't a lot in the second. Third quarter's been the other way. Sullivan, foul against Matt Moore. As Landon Sullivan tried to blow by him. Both teams going to make some changes. Matt Knight will come out. Ethan Mosier will come in. Elijah Smith for Copenhagen. And Gavin Tufo as well. Sullivan into the corner for Miller. Has Smith. Elects not to use it. Gets the screen from Carroll. Miller, pull up 3. Might have been a long 2. Either way, no good. Rebounded by Carroll. Offensive rebound and then a second chance, no good. Third chance opportunity also doesn't fall for Sam Carroll. Here comes Beaver River with some speed the other way into the paint. Blocked by Carroll and out of bounds.
I think that's his first block tonight.
Hasn't been
Good hustle down the court.
terribly involved on the defensive side of the ball. Part of that's just been Beaver River's been very content to take the shots from beyond the arc.
Very true. Schneider for a triple.
Right on cue. Schneider acted like he might have got hit. I couldn't tell on that far side if he did or not. No foul and a 3-pointer rebounded by Copenhagen. Sullivan trying to slow things down a little bit for the Knights. 1 minute to go in the third quarter.
Oh, and the lane opened up.
Right on cue.
Wow.
As soon as I said he was trying to slow things down, he sped it right back up, took it into the paint for 2 points. 42-38. Again, tied for the biggest lead of the game. Near side, Mosier. Dished out to Schneider up top. 40 seconds to go, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Schneider against Miller. Hands it off for Bush. Bush to the far side for Rice. Cade Schneider against Caden Miller.
Shot clock for one of the first times tonight's actually down to 5 seconds.
Driving in, Bush, no good.
That was Rice.
Was it Rice?
It was Rice.
Take your word for it. Well, the kid's better than I do, and it definitely was Carter Rice, number 11, driving near the basket. Shot clock turned off, 10 seconds to go.
Again, that lane opened up for him.
And Sullivan draws the foul this time.
Same exact situation as the last time down the court. He goes around the top of the key. There's nobody on that side.
Good vision. Seeing the court well. Sullivan takes that lane right to the basket. The 2 shots coming up for the Copenhagen guard. The first one is good.
New biggest lead. They're up 5.
And it'll stay at 5. Rebounded by Matt Moore. 4 seconds. Now 3. 3-pointer. Short.
Still got
saved
time.
by Schneider. Well, the night he's had, I thought that was going to go in. Cade Schneider with the offensive rebound and the last-minute heave. But he doesn't get it to fall, and it's 43-38, a 5-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Both teams scored the ball much better in that third quarter than they did in the second.
Yeah, easily Beaver River's best scoring quarter, and they've fallen further behind.
Cade Schneider up to 20 points on the night. Sam Carroll with 22 on the other side to go along with that 15 rebounds. A couple of teams getting it done different ways. Carroll down low, Schneider from beyond the arc. And
They've actually really changed up what they did in the first half. I mean, Beaver River at least seems like they're making a little bit more of an effort to get inside. They had several layups as opposed to just all those threes. And now Miller's gotten in on the action for Copenhagen with a couple of long threes, which is now back opened up the inside. I feel like Carroll's been more of a presence in that third quarter, too, asserting himself down inside.
Miller with 9. Seems funny to say Sam Carroll more of a presence, even though he's been the leading scorer, but I agree with you completely.
It just felt like he was more
Involved
of an issue
on both sides of the ball,
low.
too.
Yep.
Everything to play for here in the fourth quarter as we start the final 8 minutes of regulation. Schneider, guarded by Miller.
Copenhagen has certainly extended that defense out near the three-point line.
Long 3, no good for Bush on the far side. He's closed down by Carroll. Miller.
Boy, that lane is open. Another long 3.
That one no good, but Carroll came down with a rebound, and then it's going to go out of bounds, I think. I'm not sure they called a foul.
I don't think so either.
They're just going to say that one was deflected out of the hands of Samuel Carroll. Sullivan gets it inbound to Smith, and then Sullivan from the corner rattles in.
That's a triple. That puts him up 8.
Big basket there for Copenhagen. Landon Sullivan quietly has had a pretty good night, too, himself. Bush to Schneider. Cade Schneider driving into the paint, up against Carroll. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Cade Schneider.
Another opportunity there, maybe to look. He had 3 guys around him. 2 guys open, 1 on each wing, and just lost control of the ball.
Chance for Copenhagen here to really put the pressure on. Up 8 already. Miller. Screen from Carroll, but it'll go the other way. Drives in, turns around from the mid-range and gets it to fall. What a jumper. Caden Miller.
Very nice move.
The lead up to 10 for the Knights. Beaver River Feel like they got to get a basket pretty soon and a couple of stops. Plenty of time left, 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, but down by 10 now. Schneider driving in. Good hop step through some contact. Doesn't get it to fall, but he will draw the foul and head to the line for 2 shots. That'll be the third against Elijah Smith. And we've got a timeout. A couple of big free throws coming up for Cade Schneider, who's done an awful lot of scoring for this Beaver River offense tonight. 10-point game, 48-38 with 6 minutes to go. High school basketball presented by the Bob Johnson Auto Group. Great deals are happening at Bob Johnson, the largest new vehicle inventory in upstate New York. They'll beat any deal on a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram by $30 a month. Give them a call at 315-965-8072.
Try to look at the differences. Again, these teams are, besides the size advantage inside of Carroll, they're really kind of similar. To me, the difference in the second half, Beaver River still running that motion offense and then taking those threes. It looks like Copenhagen's made more of an effort here in the second half to get it around. If they don't have a three, somebody is going to the rim. They've got a lot of those easy buckets, and Beaver River just has not had that luxury. Granted, Copenhagen doesn't get inside and have to deal with a 6-footer, but that effort to get inside, that to me, that's the difference in this second half. Copenhagen's made that effort to get inside, and they've got some easy buckets for it. Big free throws, like you said. 10-point game. And Copenhagen seems to be scoring much easier than they did in the first half.
First one from Schneider. Smooth. Cuts it to 9. Second one, no good. Rebounded by Caden Miller.
Got to get a stop here.
6 minutes to go. Miller to Sullivan. You have to think Copenhagen will be content to slow it down, eat up the shot clock, and move the ball around until they get a good look. Sullivan. Smith driving in.
Nice hands.
Poke free, fight for it.
Oh, he's
Smith
out of bounds. He's laying out of bounds.
is
Jeez. Smith had the ball and had his arm on the line, but
sure looked like it to me. I thought Smith was out of bounds, and then I thought there was a fight for it and a jump. The whistle was that the ball was out of play, and
wow, that's an interesting call.
Beaver River had touched it last. I couldn't quite tell from up here exactly what happened, but I thought you hit it pretty much on the head.
Granted, not as good an angle as he did standing on the floor, but the line disappeared where the body was. I'm assuming that meant he was laying on it. Regardless, better defense that time. Unfortunately, they're going to have to play a little bit more of it. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Get a stop here and come down and get a bucket. Start to chip into that lead a little bit. I'd like to see him not settle for the quick three, Beaver River, when they get down to this end. If they got an open look, that's one thing, but if you're going to force a shot, get it inside where you got a chance to be fouled. I would watch the inbound and right back to Miller here. He's been their best shooter tonight. He could get it right back.
Miller. Sullivan,
And
right
there
back
it
to
is,
Miller,
right
right
back
on
to
cue. Too strong, missed everything. Off the glass. Rebounded by Carter Rice. Schneider had it poked free. Sullivan came up with it. A good behind-the-back move to get away from Schneider, create the separation. Not what Beaver River would have drawn up there after forcing the miss. Smith, the mid-range, no good. And rebounded by Josh Bush. So good stop, quick stop for Beaver River that time.
At least get a decent shot off here.
Rice to the near side for Knight. Matt Knight driving in against Elijah Smith into the paint, up over Carroll.
Well, you got
Get
a
it to
decent
fall.
shot.
It was a good look for Matt Knight. Maybe not an easy one, but a good look. Sullivan to Tufo. Back to Sullivan. Good skip from Tufo. And now Caden Miller up top. Miller. Gavin Tufo open. Close down really quickly. Gets it to Sam Carroll in the paint. Spinning. Doesn't get it to fall. Fight for it underneath.
Nice
Taken
rebound.
away by Beaver River. Another one for Josh Bush.
Got 3 straight stops. Unfortunately, that lead's still sitting at 9. They haven't even gotten a really decent shot. Well, they got Matt Knight's shot off last time, but what's they call a block and foul on Miller?
Spot on. Miller extending that forearm defensively. Back in for Copenhagen, Aiden Sheets. Sullivan on the inbounder.
Right
They get it in.
inside
Good
to
look for
Schneider.
Schneider, and he draws another foul. And it's Sheets who just came in. His 4th. Sat out most of the night with foul trouble. Comes in off the bench and immediately picks up a 4th.
Might as well leave them at this point. Only 4 minutes to go. If they can get a couple of good possessions, they can put this game away.
Well, and you figure you've played pretty much the entire game without him already anyway.
Beaver River certainly turned up their defensive intensity the last few possessions. Just got to find a way to score the rock. Down to 7.
Couple of free throws from Schneider. And then they bring the pressure. Carroll right to the basket.
Wow, nice play.
That's one of those looks where if Carroll doesn't get it to fall, you start to question maybe the shot, but he does, and it looks like a great decision. Foul whistled again.
Call an offensive
that
foul?
looks like it might be an off-the-ball offensive foul.
Moving screen?
I thought he just signaled 11, but
I think he did, and it had to be
had
on
to
12.
be
So that's
12,
on Knight.
which would be Knight, and that would be his 4th, and it is his 4th up on the board. Couple players with 4. Sheets was wide open down the court. Miller instead kicked it to Jordal. He's going to think twice about the shot and slow it down. Now
Not this
Jordal
one.
in the corner. Short. Rebounded by Matt Moore. Moore behind the back. Beaver River really got to get some points here quick. Schneider.
Schneider will. No, he did get them. Rice. Oh.
In and out.
Nice
Offensive
rebound by Knight.
with the left
Nice
hand.
finish. Right up over Carroll.
7-point game.
That's good work inside. Ooh, that looked like a walk.
Might
He
have been.
shuffled.
And Snyder.
Miller's going to take it.
Miller with a floater with the
That's
right
a
hand.
huge
That is
bucket.
just devastating. Get a basket and give it right back. Pretty much an unguardable shot. Guy goes in like that and hits a little teardrop floater over you. What are you supposed to do? Moore with a 3. No good. Fight for it. It comes back out up top for Cade Schneider. Now on the
Bush.
near side. Bush thought
Moore
about
going
it.
to try it again.
In and out. Rebounded by Miller. Beaver River shot so well in that first half. Shots from beyond the arc just haven't fallen with the same consistency for him here in the second. Miller
Miller's got that look again like he wants to score it.
drives right to the basket, fakes the shot up and over to the defender, doesn't get it to fall. Sheets fighting for it, and eventually it falls to Matt Moore. Then timeout is going to be called by Beaver River. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds, starting to look a little bit bleak for the Beavers. Still got a chance, though.
Impressed with Copenhagen in the fact that these last few possessions, obviously they're trying to milk the clock, but when they see an opening, Miller especially, they take it. Whether there's 25 on the shot clock or 5 on the shot clock. It's patient, but they're not passing up good looks.
No, there's definitely a difference between running the shot clock down at the detriment of good
Scoring.
looks.
Right, exactly.
And putting the game away. And they haven't necessarily made really any of those dagger shots just yet, but they have been taking the looks when they're there.
And just solid. I mean, they've finished more often than not when they've gotten inside.
Timeout. Sorry, go ahead.
Beaver River playing tough and certainly haven't given up. They just don't have that offensive flow. They got shooters, but as we've seen, shooters go hot and cold. That steady offensive flow and guys that can create their own shot, in the long run, that's usually more productive.
Schneider's got 23. Carroll with 22. These guys have matched each other.
Any idea how many Miller's got? I feel like he's lit it up a little bit in the second half. He's got to be in double digits.
Miller up to 13.
13, yep.
Once he settled in and found his range from deep a little bit, he's contributed really well. Moore gets it back.
There's a look. Oh, thought he might take the triple.
Looking
He'll
for
take
Schneider
it.
in the corner, moving. And that's a tough shot for Cade Schneider. As good as he's been tonight. Make that on a move in the corner, fading away from the basket. Pretty difficult look. Miller.
Oh, had
Schneider
a
might have
hand
got a
on
hand
it.
on that from behind. And it comes back out to Miller. Fight for it. Carroll. And that's a big offensive rebound. Copenhagen can let the clock run down to just over a minute if they want to let it get that far. Poke free. Sullivan stepped out of bounds.
Good defense from Schneider.
Really good defensive pressure. Beaver River forcing that one free and creating the turnover. He'll get the ball back with 1:27, trailing by 9.
Got to find somebody to hit a shot. They're taking Schneider away. Somebody's in his pocket at all times.
Schneider.
Nice look to Knight.
Knight threw a lot of contact. I think that's going to be the 5th against Sheets. Based on his reaction, it will be.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't
heading over to
look
the
happy.
bench. So, tough night for Aiden Sheets. He'll foul out with 1:16 to go. Matt Knight, the only other player with 4 fouls, will head to the free throw line. First one from Knight is good.
Nice shot. I got to think if Beaver River's got a press, now's the time to put it on. They've got to create a turnover here.
Second from Knight, in and out. Fight
Offensive
for
rebound
it.
would help. Nope.
Thought for a second that Bush might have come up with it, but Carroll just too tall. Too much reach. Beaver River kind of in a weird spot where you feel like you almost have to foul, but have enough time to maybe force a turnover too. They don't right away. The shot clock down to 10 seconds. Sullivan driving in. Fouled from behind on the floor.
Here's the other problem with fouling. That was only their second foul of the quarter. They're going to have to do 3 more just to get them to the line.
And so Beaver River will take another timeout. 30-second timeout. 52-44. Foul will reset the shot clock. 52.6 on the game clock. And an 8-point game.
Really impressed with Copenhagen. Beaver River's played hard all night, made some threes, but Copenhagen, they've got, I said it earlier, a little bit of everything. They got height, they got guys that can slash, they've got shooters, they play solid, smart defense. Really good basketball team.
Well, Copenhagen, just the 2 losses on the year. One of them was a game we did down
In Sackett's game.
in
yeah.
Copenhagen against Sackett's, who are also a very good basketball team.
I believe, are they up to 2 in the state, although I think they lost this week or over the vacation. But I think they were up in the top 2 or 3 in the D's.
Foul against Rice. Copenhagen's only other loss was at Morristown by 3, 57-54. So this is a very good Class D basketball team. Carroll, big part of that. He's going to draw the foul. I thought for a second that might have been the 5th against Knight, but it's the 3rd against Matt Moore.
I really don't feel like that's option 1 on this inbound is a bounce pass to your tallest player, but there it
They
is
did it again. And Knight didn't really want to pick up his 5th. Because of that, Beaver River has to wait to foul.
And foul
Rice.
what's probably their best shooter in Miller.
think if it was anybody other than Matt Knight on 4,
They'd have fouled
they would
immediately.
have fouled out.
Yeah.
But Knight has been so crucial for him on the boards. First for Miller, good.
I think they want to have somebody on Schneider down here.
I'm trying to figure that out, work it out between Jordal and Tufo. Second for Miller, good as well. And that really will probably ice it. 10-point game with 35 seconds to go. Schneider trying to have one last something to say about it. Doesn't get it to go, and Beaver River will call off the dogs. Copenhagen will run the clock out. It was a really, really good basketball game. Lots of lead changes. And ultimately, it's Copenhagen's ability to get the ball down low to Sam Carroll and score the ball consistently in the second half that made the difference. Beaver River struggled to find anybody other than Cade Schneider who could put the ball in the basket too often. And it ends up being a 10-point win for the visitors.
Good basketball. We saw a lot of great moves, some good shooting, some good defense. Great effort from all the guys on the court. Just a really solid basketball team out of Copenhagen. Coach Spalding's got them playing good basketball. They probably came in here thinking they could get an easy win, looking at the two teams' records, and didn't panic when it was a tight game at halftime. They just upped their game. Very impressive. They looked really good.
Agreed. Ron, we always say before the games, it's hard to know what to expect when you haven't seen a team. And neither of us had seen Beaver River. So, tough to know. I mean, you're familiar with some of the kids on the team for sure.
Yeah, I know all the kids. Had them all in class at one point. Very athletic team. You don't, if I'm being honest, you don't see that smooth rhythm offense like you saw out of Copenhagen. Athletes all over the place, all can score on their own, but ultimately that wears thin over the course of a 4-quarter game. You got to have a system that you can go to and rely on, and they're just not there yet. Not saying they won't get there, but they're not there yet. Copenhagen is clearly there.
Well, a couple of standout players in tonight's game. Cade Schneider, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals. Carter Rice had 9 points, 3 rebounds, and a couple of blocks for Beaver River. On the other side, Sam Carroll, 24 points, 18 rebounds, a block and a steal. Caden Miller, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal. And Sullivan with 11 points as well. They spread it out a little bit better than Beaver River, which is ultimately part of what gave them the edge tonight. And a 10-point win for them. So, for everybody at NBC Watertown, for our stream team tonight, Nate Madison, Zach Zabriskie, my commentary partner, Ron Rockwood. My name's Connor Lalone. Thank you for tuning in to High School Basketball presented by the Bob Johnson Auto Group, Drex Subs, and the Church Street Diner. We hope you'll join us tomorrow night. We'll be
24 hours, same 2 schools, right?
We'll be in Copenhagen. It'll be the Knights hosting Beaver River, but this time
girls game.
It'll be a girls basketball game. And that'll be fun from the Gymnasiatorium in Copenhagen. So we hope you'll join us for that one. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope you have a great rest of the night. And Happy New Year. I was going to wish you all Happy New Year at the beginning of the game, and I completely forgot because of how excited we were for tonight's action. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.